empowering you to build better lives. That's what we do. So welcome to 2026, our Empower podcast. I'm so excited to be sitting here with the beautiful Joanna Stachnick.
Thank you.
And we'll talk about the heritage, from Argentina, living in Miami. So Joanna, thank you for being here and having this discussion together. This is going to be amazing.
Thank you for having me here.
Absolutely. And we always start out with a brief introduction. So 14 years in the business. We're going to get into what brought you here and your background. 8 years as Team Elite.
Yeah.
Entrepreneur of the Year in 2025, this last year.
Yeah.
Recently qualified to head to South Africa and along to Malawi for our charity event as a Nurse the Children Chief Ambassador. We were talking before and how proud you are of that accomplishment, so we're going to get into that. But that is you, and we want to go and learn all about you for the next little bit. Is that okay?
Let's begin.
So I'm going to talk first of all and just say, I remember meeting you for the first time, and I'm trying to remember which Team Elite trip, but I had recently come back from Japan, and it would have been maybe 2018-ish, 2017, 18, and you walked up to me and you said, "Ryan, do you remember my name?" And I said, "No, I don't remember." And you said, "Joanna Stachnick, and you're going to remember me." And for the next 3 years, you would walk up and say, "Ryan, every Team Elite trip, do you remember my name? Do you remember?" And finally, I was like, I am going to remember her name. And then I fast forward to the last couple of years where as we've gotten to know each other better, and I will never forget your name. But I just wanted to acknowledge you for being so forthright and so forward in helping me to realize the potential that you had in the business, and now to see what you've done, and we're going to get into this, what you and your team have done.
Yeah, of course.
Throughout Argentina, Latin America, now into Spain, U.S. It's really inspiring, and what I've learned about you is your outlook on life and business is your greatest strength. And I think it's propelled you through some of the most challenging business times as we think about the massive devaluation of currency in Argentina and the political unrest. The way that you have navigated with faith, gratitude, and celebration
and vision
of your team. And
a lot of vision.
And a lot of vision is really inspiring. So with that, so tell us a little bit about yourself. Where were you born? I know we have similar roots.
Yeah.
But let's start there.
I was born in Argentina and lived all my life over there until I was like 24. I got married, and we were like invited to leave Argentina. That's a funny way of saying it. So we moved to Miami for just a couple of years. We thought that we were going to stay for 2, and it's been actually 23 years old.
Oh, wow.
3 years in Miami.
Well,
so
it sounds like there's a story behind invited to leave.
Yeah.
What?
It's interesting because Argentina has always been a interesting country. I love it with all my heart. But sometimes it's really hard to grow your business or, situations with economy and politics situations. So we got invited because I was working at that time. But my husband was working even more than me. He had more, business going to. So, he got invited because he was working in a bank. That bank closed. And the way to move forward was going to Miami. So I just decided to go and live with him because I thought that it was like an adventure, you know? I was just recently married and it was like, okay, let's go and have some fun. So at the beginning, I'm very adventurous.
Okay.
I love adventures. I love doing stuff that I've never done before. So it was like, okay, let's do it. Let's go for a couple of years. And those couple of years, we stayed forever. But
I think that's a life hack to learn that uncertainty, challenges always present opportunities. And the way we look at those things.
That's the secret for me. It's the way that you look at those things.
Yeah.
Because you can, I'd
as
say,
an adventure.
because being an immigrant, it's not easy.
Yeah,
I mean, you have to leave your house. You have to leave your comfort zone. You have to leave your friends, your family. You know, I remember being there, feeling so alone when I was actually around in Miami. And I felt like I have to make new friends. Have you ever thought about
you have to start over?
Yeah, it's like, okay, so going out and saying, I need to start from scratch.
Yeah.
Nobody knows me.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody.
Yeah.
So it was like, how will I begin this new life? So being an immigrant, it's tough. So you need to have like strong core.
Sure.
I mean, and so it was like, do you want to be my friend?
Yeah.
You know, feeling like I was a kid again.
Yeah.
Do you want to be my friend? It was like funny.
Yeah.
Now I see myself and I think that everything is so interesting. And I'm so grateful for that because that made me who I am.
Well, so maybe spending a moment on the environment that you were raised in and then leaving that, but keeping a business there. The thing that's amazed me about our Argentinian leaders, and I'll be specific to this country, because I think our Argentinian leaders are some of the most hardworking, resilient. I was thinking of the book Grit. Who is it? Grit. Angela Duckworth's Grit, where she talks about perseverance, persistence over time. And every leader from Argentina that I've met and come to know very much exudes those characteristics because the environment has been relatively unstable. And therefore, you must build a severe amount of resilience and perseverance to get through that. I believe that's truly your superpower. And when we were just downstairs speaking for a moment on something else, one of your team members, Andrea, said, for some reason we thrive in chaos. And for some reason we thrive in chaos. And it didn't hit me until you were just describing Argentina. The resiliency and the persistency, it's almost that the chaos creates an opportunity. And you see every chaotic moment as an opportunity. And it's as you said, it's just the outlook. So where did you develop that? I mean, think all the way back. Like, were your parents that way?
Yeah, my dad was that way.
Very that way.
From when we were kids, he always said that it's not what happens, it's what you do with what happens to you. You always need to, I mean, if something bad is happening to you, there's always an opportunity. But you need to stick into what you want because when you go to the other side and you see yourself, what happened before, then you see the growth. Not only, sometimes we think that that it's material thing that you can gain. No, it's personality. It's who you become when you are going through that process of becoming a new you. Because the version of you that wants to achieve whatever your goal is, obviously is different from the person that started having that dream or having that goal. So the process is something that I'm not scared of the process because that you need that in order to achieve something. A diamond, it comes from a rock. It goes through a process in order to become a diamond. But one of my secrets is that we are all diamonds. So let's embrace the process. Don't be afraid of the process. And one of my secrets, I mean, it's not what I do, it's who I'm with. Because the people you surround yourself
for sure
are going to make that process seem easier than if you're alone.
That's what I notice with your team. And I'm thinking through, every time we start to name people, it doesn't go well, right? Because you've Tanya and Daniela, and we've got, Andrea, and we've got Jasmine, and you've got, there's just so many leaders. But I was in Paris with your team, and I wanted to describe this, what I saw, because I've never seen it before in Nu Skin. So Nu Skin is absolutely a culture of celebrating success. and celebrating team success. We always say you can't succeed alone in Nu Skin. It's literally impossible to succeed alone in this business.
Because we are who we are because of our team.
Our teams.
Yeah.
But what I saw in Paris was different than anything I've ever seen before. And so I want to describe it, and you were there. And then I want to ask you, like, how did you do this? So we started out with a team meeting. There were 3 or 4 of you up on stage, and it was beyond Argentina. It was Mexico, and you had, there were 4 leaders, and I'm sitting at the back of the room, and you had probably, 150 people listening to the meeting. You stood up. I think there was opening comments for a few minutes. You stood up, and within 2 minutes, you pulled someone up on stage, and you celebrated her. And then you pulled up another person, then another person. Within 1 hour, I looked around. I think there were 12 people sitting in seats, and there were 138 people on the front of the stage. And what was amazing to me is every single person on that team saw themselves as succeeding, as a leader, as a part of a community that celebrated each other. And that's unique. And I'm saying I haven't seen this before. I am saying I haven't seen that before. I'm not saying that I haven't seen it because we don't have leaders that feel this way. It was just a very different way of operating. But what I saw, observing from the back of the room, was every single leader was now a leader. You were instantiating them as a leader. So where did you learn this? Because that is unusual. Usually it's you stand in front of the room, everyone listens, rah, rah, let's go. Where did you learn that leadership is about appointing and engaging? I
think that it comes from the DNA.
Yeah.
It is something that, it came from heart.
Okay.
It's not that we decided now we're going to do this. It's like something that you empower us to empower others. So it begins from you. You give us power to empower. So if you want to empower somebody, you need to let them know who they are and who they can be, that everything that they do is perfect. And they can do more in order to empower more people.
Yeah, I understand that. But here's where it breaks down for me is that inherently we each have an ego, right? And we like to be seen as successful. And so it feels good to be the one on the stage. You have an ability to literally set aside your ego, or maybe you don't even have an ego. As I got through it,
we all have egos. Come on,
but really, it was almost as though I felt like it was almost like a mother who's proud of her children.
Of course, yeah.
Because it was like you were. I don't know. It was just a fascinating. You were feeding them and placing them in a leadership position. Which made you, from an observer standpoint, it just elevated who I understood you to be.
Yes, it's so interesting what you are pointing out, because I feel, I think that it comes from, I know who I am.
Yeah. No, very clearly.
I know who I am.
Yeah, very.
So sometimes when you know who I am, you are, you don't need the spotlight forever. But sometimes the spotlight is necessary in order to be reflected by what you can do. But my point, I don't want to be in the spotlight. I want them to be in the spotlight. Because,
Sure.
It's like just, the new generation coming.
Yeah.
Because I've been there and I know how it feels. So I'm grateful that I struggled for many years, because now I know how they feel if they don't have somebody that's looking for them, after them.
Yeah.
So since I was there,
you were there. Yeah.
I know when somebody saw what I was able, what I could do, and they gave me so much confidence. They gave me okay, I can do this.
Yeah.
So since I was there, I relate to that so easily that I just want to show them that they can do it, and even better than I did, and faster than I did. So
yeah. So you said, I know who I am. Have you always known who you were, or what was the process to getting there? Because I think
I lost myself. I knew who I was. Then I lost myself.
Okay.
And then I returned, thank you to New Skin.
How did you lose yourself?
When I became a mom, I lost myself because I was not my priority. I just, I was into what my kids, my husband, the house, everything. So I lost myself over there.
And how important that is. So I have 2 daughters and 1 son. And the one thing I tell my daughters all the time is to never lose sight of yourself, because I observed my mother, who all she ever wanted to be was a mother. And she raised 8 children. And I remember as the last one left the home, she lost herself. She felt like her purpose was lost. And I think I think she struggled with that through the rest of her life, probably for 30 years, never quite remembering who she is and was beyond a mother or a caregiver, so to speak. And so I think what I love about this business is, and I've interviewed so many women here that are inspirations to my daughter. Kathy, she's an inspiration to my daughter because she's been able to retain herself and grow herself in spite of also having obligations to raise their children. But what I love about the business is it brings people back to themselves.
It brings people back and stronger.
And even in some ways, it enables people to continue with their journey without ever having to lose themselves. Because New Skin, you can do it where you want, when you want, how you want. If you need to take a little bit of time off because you're having a baby or you're raising, or your kids are in pre-K or whatever, you don't have to make that choice of leaving everything to go. And so
and that was so new for me, because in my mindset, I thought that the only way to succeed in life was or corporate or having your own company, but that's not freedom. Freedom of deciding what to do, when to do it, and how to do it, right?
Right.
So when this opportunity came to me, I was like looking something to do. It was a difficult time. We were having difficult times financially at home. So I was like open to do anything, And when and a friend of mine, it was like, she was telling me, there's a company that it's so interesting what they're doing. And then they're opening Argentina. So, and at the time I was like, I don't know anything. I've never sold anything. I don't even take care of myself. What are you talking about? But at the same time, it's like, what if? What if this really works? What if I can stay home and build a business? So obviously I was afraid. I didn't know anybody doing it, because a friend of mine, she was just a customer. She was just referring to me something that worked for her. And she knew that Argentina was going to open. And that this one, it blew my mind. I'm living in the US, and I can have, from the day that I sign up, I can have a company that's going to give me the e-commerce platform in more than 45 countries at that time. It was like, is this for real? Okay. What if they tell me it's so true? Because at that time, remember, we didn't have Facebook. There was no Instagram. So what kind of validation I had? Just my what if.
Well, and how am I going to do this living in Miami, raising a family?
Without Instagram, without Zooms.
And now you're like, oh, wow. How much easier would it have been?
It's so easy. Something happened at that time. I remember that I bought some products to know about the products, and I was so happy that I received them. Because I didn't know if it was for real. And I remember like, oh, this is something. I remember my first tech at that time. They sent you a tech, and I was like, every single time that I received something, for me, I felt like I was a team lead.
Wow.
The first time I received the products. The first time I received my first tech, it was like, this is for real. So the emotion, the confidence, that I don't know where it's going to take me, but this is working. And that's how it started.
That's so interesting to me. I mean, I feel I'm trying to get the commonalities amongst successful people. And through the course of, I don't know, we've had 50 interviews on the podcast over the last couple of years. I would say that the one common thread across, there's probably 2 or 3 common threads, but this ability to see everything is an opportunity. Every activity is a reinforcement of the potential of what you want to accomplish. Like you said, you got the product. Wow, this is going. My first my first check. This is working. But it's like a revalidation of the business. So that's interesting.
At that time, I didn't have any other revalidation.
Yeah.
Today, you go to internet and you can see that this is for real.
Yeah.
At that time, no. It was like my sixth sense.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, let's try.
I talk to people, especially young people, all the time, right? In different like church callings or youth groups or whatever, and it's interesting how I would say commonly held. There's this concern of they don't really want to enter the traditional workforce.
No.
That's not really the flexibility that they want, that they're looking for, or they don't feel like all the work they put in through university or whatever to then go work at a relatively low wage and take the next 10 to 15 or 30 years like I did to climb up through it. It's not appealing.
No.
They want a flexible lifestyle. They want to be able to utilize the tools, the social media and their mobile phone, and they want to be mobile. They want to have experiences. They want to live in Miami and build in Spain
they
or
want
Argentina.
To travel.
They want to travel. Of all the things that this business offers.
Yeah.
And to your point, okay, go start your own business, take the inventory burdens, set up the operation, go build your e-commerce stack. Shopify, they all make it easy enough, but you're literally talking about massive investment, massive time, and massive risk.
Massive risk.
And then massive, like you're married to your business for the next 20 years. That's all you do. And you don't have fun doing it in most cases, right?
No, they don't.
And then conversely, I watch your team, and again, I go to Paris and I watch your team, or we're in Greece on the cruise ship, and you guys are having the most amazing time together. And I'm like, this doesn't feel like work at all.
No, it doesn't.
This is a lifestyle.
I mean, we came here for 2 days.
Yeah.
To work.
Yeah.
Every single time. I mean, and we're so grateful. I don't feel like I'm working.
Yeah.
It's
amazing. No, I think to your point, I think being more intentional to these young people, being more intentional about designing the life that you want and then ensuring that you pick the right vehicle that will enable you to get that life you want. And if it's all about, hey, I just want to be heads down for the next 20, 30 years,
it's okay.
Go do that. Go do that. I think I'm seeing that less and less and less, and people are wanting that flexibility. So I want to maybe switch gears and go back to Argentina because I want to highlight and maybe dive into, I think, the next, or at least a next major challenge for you as building in Argentina. A few years ago, as you know, we were all sitting in Dubai at our Team Elite trip, and the market had such enormous fluctuations. The currency was, the devaluation or inflation of the currency was 300% or 82% the next year. I mean, it was this crazy environment with political unrest and economic unrest. And from a business side, that caused massive chaos. We couldn't get products in. We couldn't get dollars out. And it froze the business. And we got to this point that we sat down in Dubai and I had to deliver bad news, which was, we're going to have to close the business, or we're going to have to, we called it the speedboat plan. Remember that? And it was like, we're going to go from an oil tanker, a big business, we're going to go down to a single product, single focus, and something that the company could support and sustain even in the face of more inflation or government unrest. And I really was worried because I had to see you guys for the next 3 or 4 days. So I leave the room, and together with you and Gonza and Sol and the team, I think Tanya was there. I mean, there's several of your team there. You all stayed behind. Fast forward to the next 2 days later, we meet back up and you're all happy. And you're all like, we're so excited. There's never been a better opportunity. We're going to be focused. All we need is collagen. We need one product and we need your support and we'll do the rest. So we said, and I have to be honest, I met with Don afterwards, our general manager down there. I said, Don, I'm willing to do it. I really don't know the probability of success with one product. Still enormous operational payment challenges, operational challenges, import problems. And Don said, don't worry, Ryan, you don't know these leaders the way that I know them. They will do it. Fast forward 36 months later, you've been the highest growth market sustainably over 3 years in the world. You're leading Nu Skin's growth. You have, even amidst continued volatility in the environment, it's getting a little better. Continued volatility, you have built this business back. That's not the fascinating part to me. That's amazing, but it's not fascinating. What's fascinating is all throughout this journey, you as a leadership team never have complained. You've never come in and said, Ryan, you killed our business. You took everything away. You approached it with gratitude.
Yes.
And with, if you give me a hammer, I can build a home.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need a screwdriver. I don't need a saw. Give me a hammer and I'll build a home. The way you did that is, I think there's a lesson here for all of us that sometimes the greatest challenge can be the greatest opportunity. So how did that happen? What's your psyche like? And not, I'm saying you collectively, because it was a team effort.
It was a team, of course.
How did you approach that when I delivered the news? And then what was the 1, 2, 3 steps out
that there
to
was
where
an
you
option?
are now?
That there was an option. That there is always an option.
Okay.
And that's it. When you have an option, you go to that and you just see what you can achieve through that. If you stop and try to, what if, when or now we only have collagen? We had collagen.
Okay.
You know, it's like we're saying
now
the
known
same.
as the collagen company,
I
right?
only have collagen. Yeah. We have collagen.
Yeah.
So it's the perspective in life that you have.
Yeah.
And when your goal is bigger than you are, because we were not talking about us. We were talking about many families.
Yeah.
We had the responsibility. So the way that we approached the problem, it was so important because we were not just thinking about us. We were the least important thing. We were thinking, what about the team? What about the families? What about them? So when the responsibility is not just you, it's the people that trusted you. Because you're there because people trust you. I'm here because somebody trusted in me, had faith in me. So the only way for me to think is not what it's easier for me. It's what can I do for them? So when you have that in mind, you only are looking for opportunities in everything that happens because it's not you. You are not the finish line.
Yeah.
They are.
And that's clearly evident in your team. We did the Latin America live event here in October.
And it was amazing. Do you remember? But do you remember the last Latin America, convention? We were like 400?
Yeah.
And last year?
16 or 12 or 16. How many people?
Like 1,600?
Yeah, 1,600 people. Yeah. 4X.
So what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah. Yeah. No, listen, I in fact, we were talking yesterday because we're heading to our global
Japan
live event in Japan. And I asked, how many people do we think are realistically coming? And all the way to Japan.
Yeah.
And it was like, we think there's going to be 1,500 people from all the way to Japan, maybe more. And
more.
And I think it's just, I think to your point, I think it's, there's just such a fighting spirit, but I love that. As long as there's an option, there's a way forward, right?
There's a will, there's a way.
Yeah, for sure.
And we have I think that we know what we want.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we'll go for it because it's not us,
Yeah.
You're doing for somebody else.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you do something for another person, then you you're stronger with that than when it's you that you lose. Because I believe that we can, what's the English word for that? Decepcionarnos. We can disappoint ourselves, but you don't want to disappoint other people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, I think you're right. And, you always hear those Herculean stories of a mother lifting a car because her baby's underneath. Yeah. When you do things for other people that you love,
and you get success. Like stronger. Yeah. And you get like, I don't know, because it's for somebody else.
Yeah. I love that. Okay, well, so maybe let's transition to one more thing, and I know we're jumping a little bit here, but it's really important. So we've talked about kind of the grit, the tenacity that you just see the world, and you didn't always see it that way, but you've developed that. You see yourself. Mm-hmm. We've talked about Argentina and working your way through that. Okay, we're at a really important moment in the company's evolution. That I'm really excited about. And I want to get your perspective on this because your team, by the way, is one of the most beautiful teams in Nu Skin. We have many, many beautiful teams in Nu Skin, but truly just your beauty, like you all are big on the beauty business. Your business has exploded in social media, which is obviously huge on beauty. And now, you've the collagen, and you've had Luma Spa, and you guys have done amazing things with that. And all of a sudden, the company's coming out with this new intelligent wellness technology in Prism.io. And we're just starting to get this going, right? February, I think, in Latin America, it will hit. By the way, probably right when this podcast hits, so it's good we're doing this. But we're switching gears. You've got this enormous team that you've trained up together on how to be beauty influencers and utilize the beauty business. And collagen might be a little bit transitional, I guess, because it's more of an internal beauty product. How are you seeing this shift? What do you see?
Because I'm not seeing it as a shift.
Okay.
I don't see it as a shift.
Okay.
I'm seeing like an holistic approach of what we do. Holistic meaning it's a perfect circle. I mean, beauty, it's from the outside and from the inside. Yeah. So for me, it's not a shift. Yeah, okay. It's an add-on, a perfect add-on to what we do. So I'm so excited. We are so excited about it because, like, business-wise, we know subscriptions are so important for us. That gives us, like, sustainability,
volume, retention of customers,
retention of affiliates. I mean, 100%. For everybody wants subscription. So in beauty, it's difficult to have that. But with the Prism.io that's coming, we got that. And we will be able to help people in a holistic way, in a perfect way.
Okay.
So for me, it's that add-on, it's not a shift.
Yeah, I love
so
that.
We already have a mass amount of people that trust in the company, that trust in the products. And we're introducing something that's going to enhance what they already achieved. So for me, it's an add-on.
I love that. No, I think that's absolutely, I mean, of course, for Nu Skin, we've historically been a beauty and wellness business. We're integrated across. Now we're adding intelligence with data. And being able to give that. But I think it is important for us to look at it more as the add-on, the addition, or now it's beauty from the inside out.
We love that we're the only ones.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, having innovation, being the only one, being the first one. So I come from marketing, and I know what being a pioneer means and being the first one means. And that is something that made me start doing this.
Yeah.
Because I want to be the first one. I remember first in Argentina and first in Miami. I was like, I'm going to be the first one. I'm going to be the first one that everybody is like, who is she? I mean, the beauty lady. So I'm not afraid of starting something.
Yeah.
And I know the pros of being the first one. So I understand being the first one who will help you achieve at your home, realizing how you're eating, how your habits are. Isn't that incredible? I mean, it's like we're going to change the world for real.
Yeah.
And I remember one of the things that made me fall in love with technology, with Nu Skin technology, was like one of my leaders asked me, how many LumiSpas do you want to have in houses? I said, how many? And I never asked myself that. How many? Wow. And now it's like, how many houses do you want to help with nutrition? How they eat and how they feel and how they. So right now I'm asking the same to my team. How many families do you want to help?
Yeah.
Because when your goal is not a result of something that's only for you, but when your goal is bigger, it's like, how many people I'm gonna help?
Yeah.
How many people are gonna start like having a better life because of just measuring what we could never measure before.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I mean, we're going to change the world. And I go to myself, I mean, I tell myself that we're going to change the world. We are changing the world, but we need to first change us. We need to be the first people that make them the first move, you know? Because people are going to trust not what you do, what you say, but what you do. So my first approach is us. So Prism, it's like, I'm so in love with it.
Yeah. No, it's going to be fascinating. And for me, this is something that, you know, we conceived the vision of it in 2019 with the intelligent beauty and wellness, starting with the IoT connected devices. And we always had that technology in the biophotonic scanner. And we said, man, if we could fit it in their pockets, meaning, you know, not just in the pocket, like physically instead of a desktop device, but an actual that's affordable instead of a $5,000 machine, $300, like any of our other devices, that truly could go into every household. It's certainly far less expensive than a television, a refrigerator, any of those devices. It's more in line with an intelligent scale. But we could truly put those in houses. And this idea that we've come up with together of 10 million healthy households. How do we go find 10 million households? I remember I was in India just a month or so ago, and I mentioned that number from stage. And, you know, there's 1.5 billion people in India. And they're sitting there saying, 10 million? What are you talking about? Let's talk about a billion. Let's talk. But I agree with you. I think doing something that's never been done before, providing what I call a new biomarker in nutritional health scoring, non-invasively, the only company to be able to do something like that, to measure carotenoids, healthy eating, diet, fitness, exercise, lifestyle, sleep, all of that's impacted by oxidative stress. And to be the only ones to do that is an enormous, in my mind, an enormous business opportunity. But your point of view is it's an enormous opportunity for us to go change families and do something.
Because it started with my family.
That's right. Yeah.
But my family, I mean, they when they got to scan themselves and they saw what they thought that they were having good good choices. They were so, I mean, I'm so good at it. I'm so fit. I just, and when they, I mean, just in 15 minutes, they could see that they could improve, you know?
Yeah, 15 seconds. Yeah.
15 seconds.
15 seconds change your life. You said 15 minutes. I just want to make sure we're clear. Yeah, 15 seconds. I say that all the time. 15 seconds will change your life.
And it did.
Yeah.
So I'm so like,
I love it.
Every change happens, I mean, starts with you.
Yes.
And then that's what you can share.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to change everything.
Yeah, I agree with you. Oh, well, I love to hear that. And I love your approach of this is additive. This is an add-on. This is we've been doing outside in. This is now inside out. Yeah. And by the way, there's more coming in intelligent beauty. So it's just a journey that's going to go year to year to year to year. So, well, maybe before we wrap up, I want to get to one other point, and I would love for you to share, maybe Phil, your personal philosophy on this. Again, ever since I've met you, even when I couldn't quite remember from trip to trip, only because we weren't working together, you have such an innate passion, it seems like, for life. Just for, you love adventure, you love to travel, you love your family. How do people find that? And when you're working with people in your team, do people ever come in and you see them and you just, you see their potential, but they're not seeing it. You know what I mean? Like, how do you pull that out of them? How do you help? Because your whole team has it. And it's either that you look for people that have that, or you're pulling it out of people. But your culture is, Don Lovelace was telling me before this, he said, their team's culture, he says, I can look at their Instagram posts. If somebody follows me, this is Don, and I can tell it's Joanna's group. And I'm like, does she train them? Does she do this? And it's either that you're looking for those type of people, or by association, you're all becoming that way. But it's this grateful, passionate optimist.
Yeah.
How do you build that? How do you cultivate that in people, in your team?
I think that we attract those kind of people because
you attract them.
We attract them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you had people come in that weren't that originally, but they became more of that?
Yes, because you cannot change what you are not.
Okay.
And you cannot want what you don't have.
Yeah.
So anybody that wants that is because they have it.
Okay.
And one of the things that you ask, like, if somebody comes, like, I don't know if I can do it, or I just point out what they can do and what they already did.
Okay.
And that's a starting point.
Yeah. Start from where you are. I love that. And everyone you have it in you.
If
right?
not, you cannot dream of something. Yeah. That is something so, interesting. Your dreams, it's because you can achieve them. If not, you wouldn't have that dream. I don't dream of becoming an astronaut. So I don't have it in me. But if I dream something, it's because I know I can achieve it. And when you surround yourself with people that will guide you through that, and when you surround yourself with people that dream bigger than you, that will make you dream bigger. It's like, but I do believe in the power of dreams. I do believe in the power of dreams. If you dream something, it's because you can achieve it.
I love that. And I think that's a great way to close the podcast. If you can dream something, you can achieve it. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a dream for you. I love it. Well, Joanna, thank you for your time, and thanks for being here. Thank you for being such a lovely person and for building such an amazing team and adding to new skills.
Thank you for doing whatever you do every single day. Thank you for dreaming big, bigger than us, and for what you do, because we wouldn't be here.
Well, we just feel an enormous obligation to you all because you've dedicated your lives to empowerment, to empowering people. And we want to just keep giving you the best stuff so that we'll keep doing it.
Let's do that.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. And thanks for joining the podcast. We'll see you later.
Thank you. Bye.